Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, guys. I hope you guys are doing well and learning something from my videos. So in this video, I will continue the Python playlist and we will see the tuple in Python. What is tuple and what are its operation and why it is important in Python. So let's get started, guys. Let me share my screen. So tuple is similar to list. It is another type of data type in the Python. It is immutable, it is ordered, and it can store homogeneous and heterogeneous data in itself. Many functions return multiple values in form of tuple. We will try to understand that how to create a tuple. So create a tuple. And when I have already a list, then why do we need a tuple? What make difference tuple over list? So let's try to understand that also. So first, how we'll create a tuple? So let's say that if I write t equal to, let's say if I write AWS over here, let's say data science, data science, and if I write over here, let's say MLOps, okay? If I enter this, and if you check the type of T, you will find this is tuple. And if you now print your T, you will find this, all the element are under the parenthesis, correct? All the element are under the parenthesis over here. So whenever you have a multiple element and you store into one variable, by default, it create a tuple. It's clear, guys? It's very simple to understand. Whenever you have a multiple element to store into one variable, by default it create a tuple. Perfect. So over here, let's say create a empty tuple. How will you create any empty tuple? So just take any variable. I'll take, let's say, t2 and just pass the parenthesis. This is also tuple and it is empty. If you check the type of this tuple, if you check the type of this t2, it is tuple. Perfect. Now create a tuple with element. Which element? So let's say I'll take t3 equal to, I'll take this parenthesis and I will write some of the element into this. So let's say 23, 56, 78, comma, let's say over here, Gen AI, right? LLM, and over here, let's say 56 plus 23J. And if you check the type of this T3, it is also tuple. So there are three ways to create a tuple. If you have a multiple item assigned to one variable, by default, it will create a tuple, right? You can create an empty tuple using the parenthesis. You can pass multiple element under the parenthesis and it will create the tuple. And this is a heterogeneous tuple. What is meaning the heterogeneous? There are multiple data types are there. It's a mix of different data types, integer, string, and complex number. So this is heterogeneous. As I mentioned on the top, tuple is built-in data types of Python, which is used to store the homogeneous and heterogeneous element. So this is the example of homogeneous and this is the example of heterogeneous. So I think first line is clear, guys. Now tuple in Python is ordered, mutable, immutable collection of elements. What is the meaning of immutable? It means that you cannot change the element whatever is already stored into this. But in the Python list, we can do that. So let's try to understand. This is also one of the interview question. What is the main difference between tuple and list? So the main difference is that list is mutable and tuple is not mutable. It's immutable. Understand? So now let's check. First, I will try to show you that how the list is mutable and how the tuple is immutable. Okay, I have covered the list in the past video. There I have shown you that how you can access, but here I want to relate that. So let's try to see that. So first I'll take one list, L1 equal to L equal to, let's say I'll take the same element from here. I'll take the same element and I will store into my one list. Perfect. So now we'll check the type of each variable. So let's say type of T3 comma type of L, tuple and list. Perfect. So now change the element of the list. So let's try to change the element of the list. So what I'll do that I will take any of the index. So let's take the second index. Okay, and I want to write over here my name. Perfect. Now let's print my L. So now see over here, before the second element of the list is this one, right? This is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. Perfect. Or if you want, I will show you as well. Let me write down over here. So I'll execute this and then I'll enter one more line over here, and L of 2 is 78. Perfect. Type is T3 is tuple and L is list. Now L2 is Prashant over here. So if you see now, my L2 was before 78, right? Now my L2 has changed to, I have assigned over here at L2, that is the index 2 Prashant. And now if you check the new list over here, it is Prashant, right? So this means that list is mutable. Now come to the tuple. So this is my T3. Perfect. Exactly, I want to check my second element of my tuple, that is 78. Now I want to change the element of that. So T3 of 2 equal to, I'll write exactly same Prashant over here. Now press enter and you will find that tuple object does not support item assignment. It means that tuple is immutable. So what is the use of this? The use of this, let's say whenever we create a login page, if you go to any of the app, whether it's a Flipkart, Amazon, or it's a Facebook, you have to pass your login credential over there, username and password. So user and such kind of information used to save into a tuple so that no one can hack and accidentally change that. The only way left over here is you have to delete that tuple and you have to create a new one. But you cannot change that. So that is the beauty of tuple. And whenever you have such critical information to save, that accidentally or intentionally person should not change inside the code that's supposed to be stored under the tuple. Perfect. So this is how tuple is immutable. Now let's come back. Let's see some of the code over here. So I have a T3 over here. So tuple is also similar to list, that it can perform all the operation whatever list can perform except changing of the element and deleting of the element. So now let's see the slicing part of the tuple. So let's say that if I want to slice out 2 to 4 index, how it was possible? So 2 to 4 I said, so it is exactly it should be 2 to 5, right? So this is possible. It is similar to the list. I think if you have watched the video of the list, you know that if I want the range of 2 to 4 of my element, I can pass the lower list, lower index and higher index -1, it will get executed and returned. So over there, why -1 I said? You know that higher limit has to be omitted and you will get the -1 to the higher side. Now let's see that I want to access, let's say, the last element. So T3 of -1 and I can get it. I want to access the second last of the tuple element. So T3 of -2 and I can get it. I want to access 78 and Gen AI, only 2 elements. So how I can access? T3 of 78 is at what location? 2 location, right? and Gen AI is 3, so I'll write 4 over here. So 17 and Gen AI. You may have a question that list is defined by the square bracket and tuple is defined by the parenthesis. Then why we are writing this square bracket over here? See, we are not defining the tuple over here. We are slicing out the element. So whenever you are slicing out the element, you have to use the same square bracket. Hope it's clear, guys, right? Let's say that I want to find the length of my T3. What is total length? It is 6. There are 6 elements in that, right? So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Count start from 1 and index start from 0. I hope you know that, right? Now let's define the new tuple over here. Let's say I'll take T4 equal to 1, 1, 2, 2, 56, 78, 99, 99. Okay. Now I want to, sorry, this is list, guys, not tuple. So let me change the bracket. So it should be tuple. Perfect. Now check the type of this. Type of, let's say, T4 is tuple. Perfect. Now I want to check that how many times the element in this tuple are present. So let's say T4 dot, it is similar to list. So I'll write count, and over here it should be T4 dot count. And over here, let's say 1. So it is 2 times. Now if I want to know 99, how many times are there? So 99 is also 2 times. Correct? Now if I want to find the sum of the element present in this. So T4 dot sum, I think it should work. No. So sum of T4, sum of T4, yeah, 338. The total sum of this element is 338. Find the minimum value, minimum and maximum value of the tuple. Perfect. Next, right over here, mean of T4 and max of T4. You have both, right? Now let's say if I write over here T4 dot, sorry, product of 2 star or whatever you say product, what you will see over here, see, as soon as I write T4 and product of 2, these element, try to understand my element of T4, how many are there? T4 1 to 99, and that 99 is 2 times. So 1 to 99, these are the element we had, and now we have again same element, set of element twice. So what it has done, basically it has replicated the entire element within the tuple, and that can be possible in list also. So let's say that if I want to show you in the list, L equal to, I'll take these elements from here and I will pass over here. Perfect. Now L product of 2, so it is giving you the exactly same element twice, set of element twice. See, one set of element and second set of element. So if you write over here 3, you will find the 3 times over here, but that is not required. Let me delete this. So now come back to the tuple. So if you write multiplication of 2, 3, 4, whatever the set of element you have in the tuple or list, it will multiply or it will replicate the number of times you define over here, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Let's say I have a T5 equal to over here 56, 36, 35, 99, 1, 5, let's say 2, 6. These are the, again I have taken the list, guys. It should be tuple, right? It should be tuple, not a list, because we are learning tuple over here. So we have this tuple. Let's try to print this. So we have a 56, 35, 99, 1, 4, 2 and 6. I want to change that into the ascending order. So I'll write over here sorted T5. And you can find over here 1, 2, 4, 6, 35, 56 and 99. But this is giving you in the list. Now it is list. So let's say that if you want to store this, let's say I want to store this into one variable X. Okay. And now if you print the X over here and check the type of your X, it is list. So whenever you sort your tuple, it will convert that element into the list. Perfect. Now, if you want to arrange those elements into descending order, so what you will do, you will write over here sorted and T5 and comma reverse equal to true you will write. So you will get in the reverse direction. Perfect. Again, if you want to make this into, as we know that this is a list, but if you want to convert into tuple, what you will do that? You can pass over here tuple. You can pass over here tuple and you will get it in tuple. So this is possible, guys. From the list to tuple and tuple to list, you can perform those exercises. Now let's come back and try to see how I have done that. So let's say that I have this T5. I'll continue with this only. And I want to change directly that into a list. So I'll take one variable, let's say L equal to, and I'll write over here list, and I'll pass this T5 in this. And if you check the L, it is list. And if you check the type of L, it is list. Perfect. Now, if you want, you can change that very element, and you can again reverse back this into the tuple. That is possible. But directly tuple element you cannot change. You want to change that, let's say L of 2 equal to over here Prashant. Perfect. Now, if you check the L, it is list and the element, second element has changed, right? Now, I want to convert that into tuple. So T5 equal to tuple of, let's say L. And now if you check the type of your T5, it is tuple, and if you want to print the element, here you are. So directly you cannot change the element of a tuple, but you can convert that into the list, change, and again revert back into the tuple. That is possible. Now one more question that has been asked recently into the Morgan Stanley. Question is, let's say I have a T6 equal to one tuple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, comma, I have a list over here. Let's say over here it's Prashant. It should not be like this. Prashant over here, let's say AWS, because I work on the AWS as well. I work on MLOps as well. I work on Gen AI as well. So these are the element I have. And if you check the type of your T6, it is tuple. We know that tuple is immutable. Perfect. Tuple is immutable. We cannot change the element of the tuple. That was the question. We know that tuple is immutable. We cannot change the element of tuple. Can we change the element of a nested list inside the tuple? That was the question. I'll write over here. We know that tuple is immutable. Can we change the element of the nested list of tuple? You understand the question? So can we change this AWS to Azure? My question is that can we change that? So let's try to do that first. So I write T6 of -1. So T6 of -1 is this. So let's try if I want to change this to, let's say, X, Y, Z. That is not possible. So this complete list is protected by the tuple. So you cannot change the entire list with some other element. But inside the list, can we change? So let's try to do that. So now we have reached to this list. I want to change this part, AWS to Azure. So I'll write over here 1. That is AWS. I can access the element of the list now. So now I'll try to make Azure to this. And now let's print T6. It should be T6. Yes, we can. So inside the tuple, the nested list is a list. Ultimately, it is a list. And the element of list can be changed. So the answer is yes. we can change the element of a nested list of a tuple. Clear? So that is the question asked in month of September 2025 in the interview of Morgan Stanley to me. Ultimately, you can access the list. So once you have accessed the list is mutable. So you can change the element of that. That is the property of a list, that it is mutable. So ultimately, you are changing the element of the list, not a tuple. The entire list is under the tuple. So that is protected. That list cannot be changed altogether. Hope it's clear, guys. Very interesting question, right? Now, let's move to the next question, guys. So let's take the T5 and I want to check that certain element are there inside the list or this tuple or not. So let's say I'll write over here AWS in T5. What I want to check that if any element, let's say I want to check that the element are in the tuple or not. So how we can check that? We will just check AWS in T5 and it will return true or false. It will not return yeah it is present in the tuple or it is present in the list. Even same operation you can perform in the list as well. So it is not going to return that yeah it is present or not present. It will going to return you true and false. Based upon that, you can write your own statement. So over here, I'll write over here, let's say Prashant in T5. True. So now let's write a complete code over here. Check that. Let's say first let me give the list T10. Let's say I'm taking T10 equal to tuple 23, 56, 78, let's say I'll write over here. What should I write? Bangalore. I should write Bangalore. I should write Delhi. Right? I should write over here. Let's say company name, any company name you can write Google, let's say. Okay, let's say I'm writing AWS over here. Perfect. These are the element inside one tuple. I want to check that let's say Prashant is available in the given tuple or not. I want to check that. So like if Prashant in T10, if it is there, then print yes, Prashant is available in the given T10 or tuple. Else print let me scroll up and just take this. Yes, Prashant is available in that given tuple. How it is possible? It is not given, right? I think I have not executed this. Let me execute this and let me execute this as well. Prashant is available in the given list. How it is possible? Let's try to check this. It is false, right? Okay, Prashant is not. I forgot to write not, guys. That's why, because both the statement was same. So now, yes, Prashant is not available in the given list. Perfect. Now let's try to see how this code, whatever I've written, is half correct. Now what I'll write over here, Prashant. So now Prashant is not available in the given list, but Prashant is available. So you have to handle the lower and uppercase both. So if Prashant in T10 or Prashant in T10, so any one should be in the tuple. So you have to check both the condition, or it's better that you convert the entire tuple into the lower case. Then it will be easy. So Prashant is available in the given tuple. So it's better to convert that into the lower case, but you cannot convert that right now because if you do this lower, it will not work because tuple object has no attribute lower over here. But you can do the element of that. So let's say that if I write over here -1, so that is possible. So the element that is a string, you can change into the upper and lower, but you cannot do the entire tuple into the lowercase. Okay, so for that you have to again loop it through the for loop or while loop, then each element get access, and then you convert that into the lower and then check. That is the next, I would say, code. Whenever we will be in the for loop or while loop, we will do such kind of a problem. Okay, now so this is how you can check that if the element are in the list or tuple or not. Instead of same way the code will work for the list also, guys. You can try that. Okay, so now let's move to the next code, and over here we'll see the concatenation of the tuple. So let's say that I have one tuple T5, right? And I think I have one more tuple over here, that is T4, if I'm not wrong. Now I want to concat both. So T4 plus T5. So you can add the both the tuple together. But append and extend is not feasible into the tuple. So if you write over here, let's say T5 dot append, and over here let's say you write 45. So you cannot. It's only possible in the list, but you can concat two tuple over here. But let's say my second let's say variable is or data type is list, then it is possible to concat. Let's try that. So let's say I have one L over here, that is list, and I have over here, let's say T3. Perfect. What I want, that I want to concat both. So T3 plus L can only concat tuple, not list to tuple. So both the data type should be tuple or should be list, then only you can concat or you can perform the concatenation operation. Under the two different data type, you cannot perform the concat operation. I hope it's clear, guys. So whenever you have a two list and you want to join that, so you can use the concat operation for that. Next, if you want to delete some of the element of tuple, it is possible. Let's say T3 dot remove T3. So in the T3, what we have 23, right? So 23. So tuple object has no attribute remove. So let's say if you write T3 dot form, it is possible. Let's say over here I should write the index of the element, right? It should be 23 and it should be 2 over here. So tuple object has no attribute pop. So you cannot delete the individual element of the given tuple. The way is that you have to delete the entire tuple. That is only possible. So now if you see the T3, it is not available. So what are the property of a tuple? You cannot change the element of the tuple. You cannot remove the element from the tuple. You cannot add the element into the tuple. You have to delete the entire tuple if you want to remove the element. So these are the property of the tuple which make it different from the list. So your question will be that where you can find all these files and all this codes. So I am pushing these codes on my GitHub. The GitHub link has been given into the description of my video. You can download or you can access these files and every codes from there. I hope it's helpful, guys. If it is helpful and if you're enjoying the learning, please don't forget to subscribe, like and share, because it takes a lot of effort to make the videos. Thank you so much. So let's connect in the next video.